Hello, hello, hello. We are live now on the YouTubes or preparing and setting it up. Next will be the face baggers. Video unavailable. This video is private. Why am I logged in as that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would that video be private? YouTube is live and it's private. Why would it do that?
I don't know. If you're speaking to everybody privately.
I am speaking privately to everyone. And very excited about it because everyone needs to know in our 10 minutes of tennis at 10:02 as what we're doing here and why tennis is so good for weight loss. Well, says we're live. We'll rock and roll. Says public to me, so I'm going for public.
All right.
Recorded. I am good with that. And Facebook, we will switch. Make sure the video looks good. Got my new fancy microphone. Don't tell me you're having trouble. I don't want to hear trouble. I want to hear awesomeness. I want to hear awesomeness. We are audio, live, stream and capture, live, transition, and here we go.
Recording.
Good morning. Hello. My name is Sean Boyce, and we are with Justin Yeo, world-renowned tennis pro, Australian in Puerto Rico, which I don't know how true that evidently is because it makes him laugh every time. But we are starting strong today with a new exciting concept, which isn't new and shouldn't be all that exciting. It just should be good to know. And Justin, I'm going to start us off. I found a list online, which means it must be true because I found a list online, therefore must be 100% true. I'm going to go through 10 ways to burn 100 calories. 10 ways to burn 100 calories. And actually, I only see 8 here. So we're going to go 8 ways to go burn 100 calories. Yoga is number 8. Strength training and weightlifting, number 7. Cycling, number 6, if you don't like your hip flexors. Running, number 5, if you're into high impact. Zumba, which is basically Pilates while dancing. Swimming, number 3. Not everybody has access to a pool. Walking is probably the most popular. That's number 2. But if you want to save 2 minutes over your walking, number 1 on this list, Justin Yeo, is tennis.
Racket! Racket!
Get a racket in your hand, get a friend, take your wife, go play some tennis.
You need to publish that list. You need to publish that list everywhere.
We're gonna put that list out.
That one doesn't stay private. That one goes public. Like publish
well,
that list.
like I said, it is from the internet, and there are plenty of lists out there. I'm sure we could find a list that says something else will burn more calories than tennis, but I found one to suit our needs. So Justin, you've got some data as well. You told me a cool story recently about you putting on the heart rate monitor and showing off in front of all the people in the gym associated with one of your facilities, where you were out there working out and everybody says, holy cow, I want to be like that guy. Who is that guy? And they said, it's the guy playing tennis. So talk to me.
I am typing in ChatGPT right now.
Uh-oh.
What are the top 10 sporting activities?
Oh, that's narrowing it down though. Sporting is specific because
to lose
I'm
weight.
not going to put Zumba in as a sport.
Wow. Again, we're going to go with sporting.
Okay. Sporting only. I didn't create that list.
Yeah, I'll create it on ChatGPT and we'll talk about it at the end. How's that?
Okay.
So yeah, we it's called the M Zone, and it's basically like a pulse rate monitor that measures all your calories, it measures all your steps, it measures all your intensity, it measures all these things. And there were all these, I'm in Puerto Rico, they're all in an air-conditioned gym, they're all with personal trainers, they're all working their hearts out. They're all trying to burn off all their alcohol and food because they spend and eat too much. But, they're all in there going, but man, I only did 600 calories. Now I can only eat this much or drink this much tonight, So they kept complaining. And then finally I was like, all right, give me one of those things. And it's because it's Wi-Fi. I went out in the center court in the sun on the clay court, and I literally just wore it on myself for 4 or 5 hours straight hitting balls. And everybody was in the gym just looking at the, because your intensity level goes like green and blue, and then it goes to red if you're really up there. And they're just looking at this TV and seeing just red the whole time. They're like, oh, who's that guy? Like, who's that? They're like, oh, that's Justin on center court, And as soon as I did it, we had like every pro was full in their books because everybody wanted to be out in the tennis court to lose the same amount of calories, And I never told them, but now you have to spend all this money to fix your skin because you're out in the sun all the time. So what it is, lose weight and fix your skin, or the other way around, So yeah. Anyway, yes, yeah, it's proven fact. It's been a proven fact for decades. The tennis will lose the most calories, will lose the most weight. But the one thing I want to clarify, and because there's a lot of old school players and a lot of old school hitters out there, and a lot of, well, the new school they're not working hard enough, so they don't match the old school as far as I'm concerned. They don't hit as many balls, they don't push as hard, they don't train as hard. They may say they're a little smarter, but really you can't replace hard work. But the theory for me, and I've proved this now in the last 2 years, is when you're out there and you're hitting for an hour, and there's a lot of people that just go out and hit, and they feed the ball out of hand and play to 11, and they just hit and hit and hit. Every person I know that used to just do a lot of hitting for an hour turned it into it. I said to them, look, play matches, like just set up matches. And they're like, well, yeah, but matches, there's a lot of stop starting compared to just hitting. And I said, well, no, because it's the up and down that goes higher, because you can handle a higher heart rate because you're coming back down, is going better than just being like sitting on a Peloton, just pedaling and hitting balls. Every single person for the last 12 months that went into match play and started doing matches 3 times a week instead of just hitting, all lost a ton of weight. And I mean a lot. They lost percentage body fat, they lost size, they lost a lot of weight from just playing matches. So
and that's adding in the anaerobic, right? That's yes, you got your aerobic. So
right,
I are working out for an hour, that's just working out. But adding in the anaerobic to spike it and get your heart rate down, and spike it and get your heart rate down. Tennis can do both of those things.
Yep. And then when you're in match play, there's the height of emotion. There's a height of chemicals going up and down. And that's what generates and burns even more. And hey, let's talk about the release. Like, when you finish, win or lose, you're eager to go more, do something else, to change it up, to come back and beat it next time, or do something different next time. So it's all I can tell you is that yes, tennis will lose weight more than just about anything ever. Yes, people will say there's a lot of traction on the body, but if you really, I mean, I've had to show this multiple times. You can look on IBM statistics, right? That 80% of a match is within about a 3 feet circle around you. 80% of the match, right? So it's not like people are like, I've got to run here, and then I got to run here, and then I got to go over here, and it's like, no, that's not how tennis is done. Like, if you watch a player, they're identifying. If some people, let me back up. Coaching wise, if you feel like you're all over the place, there's a good chance you're not watching the racket and you're not watching the ball come off the racket. Because when you perceive things, you tend to move earlier and move within where the ball is. And that's what I'm trying to talk about. 3 feet around you is 80% of the time. You're really not traveling a lot of the court. Now the players are, because, the more they, push them side to side, the more they open up the court, the more they open up opportunities. But you can look at the statistics and show that you only cover, maybe a mile of running on a tennis court after a match. That you only hit when you add up just the points and the live time of the ball, you're probably only playing 18 minutes, or 15 minutes, depending on the length of the match. So when you really add up, you're like, okay, there's not a lot of traction on the body in the amount of time, but there is a lot of calories that are disappearing.
Well, and imagine the fun. I mean, just stop and think about going for a run. Some people enjoy it, clear your mind.
Yeah.
My wife was a runner for a long time. She liked it. It just clear your mind, but it also can allow you to think, which is a strange combination, but that's how it works.
Mm.
And I never liked running. I never enjoyed it. My fitness was tennis, and it was 3-4 times a week. Thankfully, I was a teaching pro for a long time, spending all day on the clay. There's no way you can not, stay fitter than you need to be just to be, have a regular job and go into the office every day. So that was a benefit I had. But when you think about the fun and say, okay, I've got an hour, it isn't just what's the most I can do in that hour, but it's also, I want to enjoy that hour. Is tennis not just more fun than most other things that I can do to burn 500 calories?
Yeah, I mean, the only people it's not fun to is they can't hand-eye coordinate or coordinate their feet, which is why pickleball is alive. I'm sorry, pickleball people, you can hate me right now, but at the same time, it's very smart. Whoever architecturally designed or engineered designed pickleball, he saw the obesity rates. He saw what convenience people have less time. He saw all the different things. And if you look at the world ratio of obesity and everything, and how much people want to lose weight and do something, activity and be social, he designed something absolutely perfect for people to somehow get some activity, lose some weight, and have some fun, right? And that's pickleball. But don't relate to tennis. Please don't do that.
All right, so that's a different conversation. Justin,
It is a different conversation.
you find your Chat GPT information you were looking for, so we finish off with what we're looking for. You were looking for a list of sports by calorie burning. Is that what we're looking at? Because I'm pretty sure baseball's not on that list.
Well, we'll soon find out. I'm just going to do Chat GPT.
Golf gets an extra tick because it's 4 hours of something. So at some point, if you're doing 4 hours of something, you have to be burning some calories going for a walk through the woods, which I love, by the way. So I don't put down golf for that. I think that's a good thing, a good physical activity, because I love a walk through the woods, and it combines sport with hopefully a friendship and a good relationship and being able to walk through the woods at the same time. But it isn't going to have the same intensity. Nobody goes and plays golf for just an hour too. I don't think standing on the range is the same as being on a ball machine, which can get you that aerobic activity. But like you said, the ball machine's aerobic, playing matches is anaerobic. You can do both. And in that case, you're losing weight pretty quickly.
Yeah. So again, the very, very smart sports medicine people in the world that have proven things that have changed lately from cardio, we should drop a lot of the cardio treadmills in the gyms and try to make people learn how to be a little more intense, a little more lightweight, a little more programmed, because it's proven it's better for the body, it's better for muscle tone, and you're going to lose more weight than standing on a treadmill doing this all day. And doing this all day too, your heart rate just sits in one spot. So you're actually forcing the heart to stay in one thing. And that's not good either. The heart needs to go up and down, up and down. That's how it makes it fitter and stronger. So I actually even don't want to talk about ChatGPT, because they've gone, number 1 is running and jogging. Number 2 is swimming. Number 3 is cycling. Number 4 is jump rope. Number 5 is boxing. Number 6 is rowing. And number 7 is tennis. Number 8 is soccer. Number 9 is basketball. And number 10 is CrossFit. So CrossFit, I would say, actually loses weight really well until you get too crazy, and then you get too many injuries and you gain more weight. So
be careful, sure.
So, but running and jogging, on the basic level, running and jogging and swimming is definitely easier, and cycling. So I would say with the top 4, they're the easiest to get started if you want to lose weight. Running, swimming, cycling, jumping rope. Doesn't cost you money. Get out there and get something done, Great. You want to lose some weight. It's as it gets going. Boxing, you could probably shadow. Rowing, you definitely need equipment. Tennis, you need equipment and a court. So I think I could see those top 4, and they classify that 600 to 1,000 calories per hour when you're running or jogging. Swimming is 500 to 700 calories. But when you look at this, they say tennis and badminton in a singles match is between 600 and 900. So it's about the same level as running and jogging. So the top 10 list is the calorie burn is about the same as what they're saying in ChatGPT.
Okay, that makes sense. Justin, we're going to go longer on YouTube, but we're shutting down our 10 minutes of tennis because it became 14 minutes of tennis today.
All right. Wow. We gave you an extra 4 minutes today, everyone. 4 minutes.
This is
free.
Exactly a free 4 minutes. We will continue live on YouTube, but we are shutting it down. Justin Yeo, thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. So YouTube will still run, but the Facebook main that we sell as 10 minutes, we want to keep as close to 10 minutes as possible. But I like the list you combined because we're still here with Instagram is usually our background and live on YouTube, and I will keep the recording going just in case something interesting. But I find I like the description of yes, running, yes, jump roping, swimming, maybe not so much, and maybe not cycling, but 2 of the top 4, you essentially include those movements in a tennis workout.
Absolutely. Swimming as well. Swimming is like literally, right? So if I got to do a serve, and especially nowadays serve, right? Serve back in my days, it was down together, up together. So that's not a swimming. But now with the whole leg and the palm down and the arm up, if you look at my technique right now, I would say you would see me swimming.
Right? Yeah, okay. I can see that.
So there's a lot, and the whole idea of swimming is to open up the range, right? And keep opening up the range of the shoulder. So swimming is absolutely phenomenal for tennis, especially for health, shoulder health.
Yeah, that direction I can see. I'm just trying to think of that movement. And then cycling, I guess there's going to be some movement within tennis that's included there. So as a sport, I think it, and I know you avoid that, but
cycling to me is one of the worst you could do for tennis. There's no range in the hip.
Right.
You're only doing this and you're tightening the hip up even more from what you do on a tennis court. All right. What hurts the tennis is you've got to be able to range the hip. You've got to be able to deep squat. You need to be able to come up. You need to be able to go. That's where you get your power into the ball.
So in that case,
if your hip's locked into one spot all the time and you're only doing this, you really, you're just tightening it all up. You're not getting it the range that it needs.
So do you know why then almost all professional players use the cycle for cool down?
They use it as a cool down and a warm up because it isolates the legs and works the muscles. They're just trying to work the muscles to break up the lactate. That's all they're doing it for. They're not doing it for literally training.
It's not a workout.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And if they did, well, they might want to do it as a calorie burner as to get off the court, because they're on the court for so long. But it's not. If you really look at the position of the lower back and the hips on a bike, and whether if you sit up and pedal, well, maybe because now the range of the hip is improving, right? But as soon as
maybe a recumbent bike is better.
A recumbent bike, yes, but sometimes no, because now the knees are up here.
All right.
So I'm showing you the hip range, and the key factor with tennis players is to open up the hip so you can actually use the whole range of the hip instead of it getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And if you think about a Peloton, that's one of the worst, because if your back is like this the whole time, we're already like that on a tennis court. So we don't need more. We need the range.
Right. And then why are those cycling things so popular? Just because it's easy to sit there and it gets the heart rate up? Like it's all heart rate at that point?
Someone's motivating them. That's why personal trainers are everywhere.
Sales pitch.
They want motivation. They want someone to push them along. They want some direction. They want something different. Like come into the gym and go, gotta get on the bike. Oh, someone's changing it up. All right, I'll get on the bike. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I like tennis. It's self-motivating. It's you against me, and I don't want to lose, so I'm running hard.
The key factor is just activity.
Activity.
You just gotta move. You gotta move. And if you love tennis, you're gonna burn more calories than anything else. That's all we're trying to point out.
And even if you don't, if you can do it 2-3 times a week, like I started with, grab your wife and go run around and play some tennis.
100%.
30 minutes.
And really theoretically, if you are gonna try to lose weight, you need to change things up all the time anyway. So if you're hitting the gym and you want to use tennis as a recovery and then hit the gym the next day, I mean, that's a great concept. You use your recovery is your tennis where it's worked all the muscles without any weight or any strength, you know. But there's, you know, people are limited depending on their weight. They're limited and it can cause strain on the body. So, you know, you got to be cautious. That's why probably pickleball, like I said, it might be a good introduction to start losing weight to then to be able to play tennis. So that's what pickleball also is a good introduction to tennis, you know, because if you can start to lose a bit of weight, you can expand the court, get a little bit bigger, and then maybe even start striking the ball with a tennis racket.
Well, I think Pick 10, I think it's PTR is doing a pretty good job of trying to combine the concepts of tennis and pickleball, using pickleball as a tennis entry point.
Yeah. I think as an entry point especially for kids, probably a little bit more for kids than adults. But what I like about pickleball with the kids is it really makes them identify feeling the ball with their hand. You know, because I've been saying this a long time. We see so many kids with like perfect technique, but they can't just put the ball, they can't place the ball where they lose the importance of this part right here. You know, and you know, I'm a pro, but I'm no Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Alcaraz. I mean, I put Federer and Nadal probably the top two as far as I'm concerned, because I've watched them so many times, and their hands are just off the charts. I mean, just ridiculous. I don't know if you've ever seen Federer on a table tennis table, but he is no table tennis player. But man, can he put the ball anywhere he wants? I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, it's the hand, like we can't. You know, and even today, I still got the hat on. Even today, if I was raising kids, I've been raised focusing a lot on Federer's style, where he lived life with very minimal injuries. He took the ball on the rise, and he used a lot with his hands. You know, it wasn't all so much mechanical and technical.
So last thing, while we're online, I've got a question. It's off topic, well, off specific topic with this one. And I'm curious. I met a player and she was senior in high school, good high school player type, maybe would play in college, about that level. And any ball in the strike zone was perfect. Technique, perfect, everything, both sides, just exactly what her coach taught her. Just never miss a ball in that way. You get it half an inch out of the strike zone and she couldn't make a ball. She didn't understand. You talked about the hands, that point of view of understanding where the ball goes at the point of contact and why. I questioned whether or not it was an intellectual understanding of what the racket is doing at point of contact. Do you think there are some people, and I'm wondering if this person just intellectually was incapable of grasping that concept or just never really worked enough on it, that anybody should be able to be capable of understanding what happens at point of contact there to be able to adjust outside of the strike zone?
Well, so again, what's the strike zone? The strike zone is in front, whether the ball's up or down or whatever. But again, I mean, I see this all the time. People with perfect techniques, the ball's being hand fed right in the same spot all the time.
Right.
The same as in golf. I mean,
right.
You know, vary the feed, get them as soon as possible to get used to all the different areas. And they have to still, you can show them where that feels good and feels awesome. But now you got to make them feel awesome here, and you got to make them feel awesome here. And then you got to make them feel awesome here, because what's the biggest shot of the game right now is drop shot. And if you can't open the face, you ain't no drop shot, you know? So it's, to me, the hands, I've said it all along, just knowing the spot with the hands is so important. And I think that's where pickleball would be really good. I hate to say that, but I've just said it online, live on YouTube. So hopefully nobody knows.
I heard it. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Justin Yo, Australian in Puerto Rico. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man.
See you
Cheers,
next time.
buddy. Cheers, man.